Concurrent programming paradigm. Computing system model the world, and the world contains actors that execute independently of but communicate with each other. In modeling, parallel executions have to be composed and coordinated, and that's where the study of concurrency comes in. There are two common models of concurrent programming: shared memory and message passing. Shared memory. In the shared memory model of concurrency, concurrent modules interact by reading and writing shared objects in memory. Message passing. In message passing model, concurrent modules interact by sending messages to each other through a communication channel. Modules send off messages, and incoming messages to each module are queued up for modeling. Now we have a simple story, a diagrammatical representation which shows sequential, concurrent and parallel processing. When you look at the diagram itself, we'll come to know the difference between sequential, concurrent and parallel processing. Issues in concurrent programming paradigm. Concurrent program is programming with multiple tasks. The major issues of concurrent programming are shared computational resources between the tasks, interaction of the tasks. Objects shared by the multiple tasks may have to be safe for concurrent access. Such objects are called protected. Tasks accessing such an object interact with each other indirectly through the object. And access to the protected object can be lock free when the task accessing the object is not blocked for a considerable time. Blocking otherwise. Blocking objects. Blocking objects can be used for task synchronization. Examples of such objects are events, mutex and semaphore, waitable timers, queues. Multithreaded programming. Java provides built-in support for multithreaded programming. A multithreaded programming consists two or more paths that run concurrently. Each part of such a program is called a thread, and each thread defines a separate path of execution. Thus, multithreading is a specialized form of multitasking. There are two distinct types of multitasking: process-based and thread-based. We'll see the difference. Process-based multitasking. Process-based multitasking is the more familiar form. A process, in essence, is a program that is executing. Thus, process-based multitasking is the feature that allows your computer to run two or more programs concurrently. For example, process-based multitasking enables you to run Java compiler at the same time that you are using a text editor. In process-based multitasking, a program is the smallest unit of code that can be dispatched by a scheduler. Thread-based multitasking. Thread-based multitasking environment. The thread is the smallest unit of dispatchable code. This means that a single program can perform two or more tasks simultaneously. For instance, a text editor can format text at the same time that it is printing, as long as these two actions are being performed by two separate threads. Thus, process-based multitasking deals with the big picture, and thread-based multitasking handles the details. Thread class and the runnable interface. Java multithreading system is built upon the thread class, its methods and its companion interface runnable. Thread encapsulates the thread of execution. The thread class defines several methods that help manage threads. We have various methods: get name, get priority, is alive, join, run, sleep, start. Get name obtains a thread's name. Get priority obtain a thread's priority. Is alive determine if the thread is still running. Join wait for a thread to terminate. Run entry point for the thread. Sleep suspend a thread for a period of time. Start a thread calling run method. Main thread. When a Java program starts up, one thread begins running immediately. This is usually called the main thread of your program because it is the one that is executed when your program begins. The main thread is important for two reasons. It is the thread from which the child thread will be spawned. Often it must be the last thread to finish execution because it performs various shutdown activities. Main thread is created automatically when your program is started. It can be controlled through a thread object. To do so, you must obtain a reference to it by calling the method current thread, which is a public static member of a thread. The general form is given. This thread returns a reference to the thread in which it is called. Once you have a reference to the main thread, you can control it just like another thread. You have an example where you use current thread, set name, sleep, interrupted exception to go with. Calling a thread. In the most general sense, you can create a thread by instantiating an object of type thread. Java defines two ways in which this can be accomplished. You can implement the runnable interface. You can extend the thread class itself. You have an example to go for creating a thread child and then starts its running. We have it, you can have a look over it. Extending thread. The second way to create a thread is to create a new class that extends thread and then to create an instance of that class. The extending class must override the run method, which is the entry point for the new thread. It must also start to begin execution of the new thread. The preceding program is rewritten to extend thread. Now, here is an example to create a second thread by extending thread. So, we use new thread and thread to go with it. Now, this is an example where you come across for creating multiple threads. Numerous threads has been created using thread function and we go for implementing this with runnable. Using isAlive and join. The main thread to finish last. In the preceding examples, it was accomplished by calling sleep and main with a long enough delay to ensure that all child threads terminate prior to the main thread. Two ways exist to determine whether a thread has finished. First, you can call isAlive on the thread. This method is defined by thread and the general form is given. The isAlive method returns true if the thread upon which it is calling is still running. Otherwise, it returns false. While isAlive is occasionally useful, the method you will more commonly use to wait for a thread to finish is called join. So, the syntax for join has been given. Now, here is an example where you work with join to wait for threads to finish. Thread priorities. Thread priorities are used by the thread scheduler to decide when each thread should be allowed to run. To set a thread priority, use the set priority method, which is a member of a thread. The general form of set priority has been given. Here, the level specifies the new priority setting for the calling thread. The value of level must be within the range minimum priority and maximum priority. Currently, these values are 1 and 10 respectively. To return a thread to default priority, specify norm priority, which is currently 5. These priorities are defined as final variables within thread. You can obtain the priority setting by calling getPriority method of thread, where the syntax has been given.